taking a look at the current United States alerts here, we have an Arctic blast that is going to be coming down from Canada this weekend here, affecting most areas of the United States here, particularly the north. Taking a look at the north here, some wind chill alerts here, likely getting sub-zero and below negative 20 degrees for wind chill indexes here. And as we take a look at the winter weather alerts here, you can see we have from winter weather advisories to blizzard warnings continuing over the Pacific Northwest, and that's likely going to continue moving east as we head into that time frame. And we also have high wind warnings still scattered about some areas of the United States, but we have a widespread swath, about 1,000 miles of wind advisories that have been issued by National Weather Service offices in the eastern, southern, and central United States. And we'll likely have some of those wind advisories, particularly by the lakes, starting to go off as high wind warnings as we go into the day tomorrow and eventually into the day on Saturday. So let's take a look at this system all together here. As we take a look here, as we time those things out here, you can see we get snowy as we go on the northern side of this here. Severe weather on the southern flank of this. We'll talk about that and time out those thunderstorms here on the next part of this video. Fast forward if you really want to watch it here. As we go into this time frame here, notice that we have some snow to talk about in portions of maybe getting up into northern Illinois, maybe Iowa, and then getting up into portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then down back into Nebraska, potentially talking about some heavy snow at times here. And some of that snow could be blowing and drifting as long as we have enough wind gusts to do that. And we also have severe weather continuing to migrate eastward here, slowly but surely here, with heavy rain and high winds. Otherwise here, you can see, and then here's the blizzard that's likely going to start setting up stage as we go into tomorrow afternoon here. Big burst of wind, big burst of snow right here as we go into that time frame. Big burst of rain, big burst of wind. So anywhere you have your first precipitation of the day, you're likely going to have a burst of wind, and it's likely going to continue gusting around 40 to 60 miles per hour here. Here's a map I created myself here. I hope you guys like it, of wind gusts you can expect here. In this yellow shade here is areas of 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts here. And the red shade is areas of 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And this pink shade, well, that's unfortunately 50 to 60 mile per hour winds here. And we're likely going to have a lot of those throughout the daytime hours as we go into the day of tomorrow and the day on Saturday. So those wind advisories are really telling something, and there will likely be a lot more wind warnings as we go through the day tomorrow. High wind warnings, that is. Continuing the time frame with the system here, you can see that blizzard will likely continue affecting the same areas as we go into the overnight hours tomorrow and into the day on Saturday. We'll likely get some backing snow from this, and on the back ends of this, we could have some blowing, drifting activity in this region right here, potentially with blizzard conditions in some areas as we go into that time frame with a full-on blizzard possibly on the northwestern ends of that. That's really going to be something to keep an eye on here. But anyways, let's get to the top of the timing out of the thunderstorms here. As we go into that timing here, you can see we're likely going to start seeing some pop-up cells as we go into 8, 9 o'clock tonight here, maybe in portions of Arkansas here. We're going to need to watch these showers coming off the Gulf of Mexico, because these all will likely intensify once it gets to Arkansas here. Because a cold front is also going to ignite some thunderstorms out ahead of it, and it really does. You can definitely see it as we go into the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow morning here. Big wind producer as we go into this time frame here, and then this will change to a shield of rain as it moves north. Likely nothing severe with that except heavy rain, maybe some higher winds, and then it's going to stay gusty on the backside of this. As we continue this time frame here, we're likely going to get an even worse severe threat throughout the day tomorrow than we are overnight tonight. Watch the squall line. All right, you can see I circled the squall line, but look at these baby discrete supercells that are just trying to live their best life as we head into that time frame. They almost die off, but watch what happens as we go into the late morning hours here. All right, here's 9 to 10 o'clock. They fire up again, and we're probably talking about a stronger tornado threat in this region right here. The Storm Prediction Center has highlighted an enhanced risk area for their day 2 outlook. Might be an upgrade to moderate. We're just going to have to see what happens here, but definitely a strong tornado signal potentially going into the day tomorrow here. And as that storm continues to move eastward here, these could also be capable of strong tornadoes. As they continue to move east. We may even have some isolated heavy thunderstorms down here in Florida. Likely nothing severe in particular with those, but we may have some gusty, maybe some strong winds in areas. But that tornado threat just doesn't want to shut its mouth here as we go into this time frame here. And then it continues moving east here. And I'm going to zoom in here to give you a better look here. Now Florida is impacted here. All right, Florida Panhandle is in a marginal risk with this. However, they're likely not expecting a higher threat than that, maybe a slight risk at that. But you can see the enhanced risk is likely going to be definitely enhanced in this entire area right here. I'm thinking the slight risk should be enhanced over here, but I don't know. That's the Storm Prediction Center's decision right there, of course. But as it continues to move here, you can see maybe the coast getting some severe weather as we go into the evening and overnight hours as we go into that time frame. That cold front propagating east here. And I forgot to mention the tornado threat is going to be impressive with this. The damaging wind threat is as well, and winds could be 75 plus as well. So that's going to be something to really keep an eye on here as we go throughout the overnight hours into your Saturday time frame. I already showed you the structure of the storm. Let's take a look at the frontal boundary intrusion here so I can show you what's really going on here. Now I'm going to start the clock here and keep it going here. Watch as that low approaches here, and then that cold front makes its way through. We get a warm front to lift north. That's likely going to create that warm sector I was telling you about. It's on the screen there. I know it was a fast animation, so I put it on one picture for you. Warm front's likely moving north here, bringing a slight warm sector to much of the southeastern United States. And at the same time, we have instability of 1,000 plus joules per kilogram that will likely favor supercells and linear segments. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as well as the significant tornado parameter looking very impressive in terms of strong tornado potential here. Like I said, a moderate risk upgrade is possible with all of these in mind here. But yeah, definitely a pretty significant system. We have another one that we need to watch, however, which is coming in the next couple days along with bitterly cold air. We need to track that right now. All right, so timing out this next storm system here for you. You can see as we head into that time frame, that weekend storm's going to ride up the East Coast. This next one coming along here will likely bring on some winter storm, maybe some blizzard warnings once more for portions of the Pacific Northwest getting up into the valley there. And as we go into this time frame, this is a little bit of a babyer system that we've had in a long time, but could bring some decent ice, maybe some snow to portions of the southern plains, maybe even portions of the southeast. We might need to see how that goes. Perhaps. Do we get some isolated snow showers in the Carolinas? That's something to watch as well. That will likely bring some lake effect for portions of the Ohio Valley here, getting into the New York City area as well. We're going to have to watch the snow very closely because the last couple models showed a system riding up the East Coast. However, that's not panned out anymore. That just shows how fast things could change. And that's why I'm saying do not get your hopes up about any of these storm systems unless they're within 3 days of the forecast period, all right? Other than that, beyond, we're just forecasting potential conditions that could ramp up there. And I'm just saying that there is the potential for a significant tornado outbreak for the day tomorrow. Well, there will be definitely a tornado outbreak. We just have to see if it turns moderate, like type day or something like that. That is tomorrow, so that's going to be something to watch very closely with hawk eyes. You know what I mean when I say hawk eyes, like very closely. Watch it very closely. Let's take a look at those wind gusts now. All right, so previewing those wind gusts for you here. As we go into the daytime hours tomorrow, we're likely going to start seeing those wind gusts starting to ramp up to 40 to 60 miles per hour here. And yes, I said 40 to 60 miles per hour because we have that range throughout much of the day tomorrow here. And as we go into that time frame of the storm system here, this is where blizzard conditions will likely start being an issue here as we go into the overnight hours tomorrow here. We could have gusts to 60 in this entire area right here, mainly 50 in these pink areas, and in these white areas though we could see areas of 60, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on as well. East Coast getting in on some maybe 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts as we go into that time frame, and then the storm system we're going to start to get on the backside of it as we go through the day on Saturday, and then that will likely bring the potential for some blowing, drifting activity in this region right here. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an Arctic blast that is on its way, and it's going to bring much below average temperatures throughout much of the United States here. Watch how it screams south as we go through the day tomorrow here. And by 5 p.m. tomorrow, we're likely going to start to see this cold front moving east very, very abruptly. And we're likely going to see much below average temperatures here going into this time frame here. This trough is likely going to bring sub-zero temperatures as we head into that time frame through much of the north here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. That's my obnoxious dog barking. He's barking at a dog outside, and he had to bark at the right time of this video. So, sorry about that, guys. But continuing to talk about this Arctic blast here, you can see we do also have some cooler conditions perhaps down here. Maybe some 20s in this region right here, and then we have negative sub-zero temperatures. We probably have temperatures in the negative 40s zone up here. That is completely below average for them this time of year, but only by a little bit. I know, surprising, right? But anyways, guys, that was the last part of this video. Not because of my dog barking, what I had planned. I didn't have anything else planned to talk about here. So, guys, I am Severe Storm Filmer. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll have another video tomorrow.